Hi everyone, I am Ketra. Welcome to your reading for Cancer. So with these readings, we're going to take a deep dive as we go on through the weeks into your astrology, into some of your traits, the light and the shadows of your traits, and we're going to see if we can navigate through them so that we can help you on your soul's path. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at your major arcana card. You are the Chariot. You are strong and you are vibrant. The Chariot, he doesn't need, he, she, whatever, he doesn't need anybody to pull his chariot. If you look, the Sphinx, they're not linked to this chariot here. And so that tells me that you can propel yourself forward. You know where you're going and you know you want to get there, but sometimes we get a little bit lost on our way. So as we go through the reading, we're going to look at our current energies, where we're at. We're going to get some guidance from some oracle cards. I've pulled out decks that are specific toward leaning into your zodiac sign. But you are ruled by the moon. So let's take a look at your light traits really quickly. Light traits would be nurturing, intuitive, protective, deep emotions. You're very loyal. Your shadow traits, sometimes overly sensitive, moody, avoidant, emotional, clingy, codependent. And why you may have been prone to addiction or self-sabotage. With moon shifting nature, you can be emotionally vulnerable and deeply reactive to stress, to change, to rejection. And so you may seek food, substances, or unhealthy emotional attachments to seek comfort. Those comforting behaviors to escape like inner wounds. And you typically, from what my research shows, you avoid self-care. So hopefully this is going to be able to kind of point you in the direction of your shadow traits, your light traits, and where you go from there. So let's go ahead and get started with an oracle card from the Wilder Ones. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers. And let's go ahead and let's just have a card for the general energy of the reading. Magical happenings, favorable consequences. Today is luckier than yesterday. Absolutely. Look at that image. As this oracle deck also leans into your sign. It is a beautiful unicorn that's a mermaid, and then another unicorn. And of course, it is, in my opinion, they're surrounding the moon. All right, so let's go ahead and start with your general energy. So this is the Mermaid Tarot deck. And I was super happy to see that this deck correlates with your sign. It's one of my favorite decks to use. Again, it's the illustrations. It's just the way that I feel when I see the cards. And it kind of correlates exactly with your nurturing, intuitive, protective, light traits. So let's take a look at the general energy right now for Cancer, and then what information can they use? Right. We have the Four of Cups. So we're going to go ahead and set out your light cards right now. Queen of Swords, the Sun, Six of Swords, and Judgment. Okay, so we're going to use the Tarot of the Abyss deck to just kind of take a look at shadows. So it's like a duality kind of thing. It's like what we have to work with. We have the light and the shadow to work with. Our shadows help us understand where we need to go, especially when we are in the shadows and we know our soul wants to go in another direction, because we literally feel it. We can hear it. We can feel it. So let's look at that. You are Two of Swords. You are the World. Four of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Okay. So with our Four of Cups, the Cancer energy is really kind of not looking at the big picture. They're looking at what they're going through. And it's really ironic that this is more geared toward the sober souls, those healing, those in recovery. Because if you look at the picture, he's literally sitting there with a bottle in his lap. He's got 3 empty cups, and there's a mermaid in the water with a cup, just looking at him, just like kind of like lost, like why? Why aren't you able to let it go? So that's what I feel like your current energy is that you're in a situation right now where you're not able to let it go. And with the 2 of Swords over here in your shadow side, so we'll start with your shadow side. The 2 of Swords is really where you're at an indecision in your mind. You may have a situation that you're dealing with right now, and you're just feeling quite lost. And you have the 8 of Swords, which you're just kind of bound in your thoughts right now. If you look at the picture, the swords around her are just binding her, and she's kind of bound up in her own self. She's got some of her hair covering her. And so I feel like it's like you're being asked, what is it that you don't see? You don't see that it's like the 2 faces here too. They kind of stick out also. And so for me, it's like, what is it that you're not seeing? It's definitely something that you're not seeing, or it's the way that you're seeing it. It's the way that you're seeing it when you're coming from your traits of your shadow traits. So like being overly sensitive, it's like you're avoiding a situation. You're avoiding a situation. And I say that because there's no face on this 2 of Swords. Usually the 2 of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck, she's got a blindfold on. She can't see the path behind her that she could take because she's got the blindfold on. And on this one, I just feel like, and I'm looking at your shadow traits to kind of connect it with your shadow side. It does feel like there's some deception because you have the 4 of Wands here, and that's typically a card of celebration. And you have the World card here. So I'll just show you those because the illustrations, I want these to resonate with you as well. And as always, as a brief little disclaimer, if it doesn't resonate with you, please leave the message here. If it doesn't resonate with you, but it resonates with somebody else that you know is a Cancer, please share the video. With that said, the 4 of Wands and the World, it's like, I just keep hearing it's what they don't see. So if it's what they don't see, and we're focusing on shadow traits right now, I think you're emotionally avoiding something because you're bound by the 8 of Swords. You're bound by the 2 of Swords because you're just not seeing. Neither of these 2 cards can see. So it's like, are you avoiding saying something that you want to say? Are you avoiding asking for the help that you need? Especially if the energy is the 4 of Cups. Are you avoiding asking for the energy that you need? Do you not see that you have the foundation available? Even though these are shadow traits and it's the 4 of Wands, you have the foundation available. So I just keep hearing it's what they don't see. And it possibly is, if it's shadows, it's what you don't see, that you're possibly in a cycle of a behavior that you don't want to be in. That's really what I'm feeling from the shadows as my ears are getting really loud. It's what you don't see. So let's take a look at what you could see. So with our light, we have the Queen of Swords, the Sun, 6 of Swords, and the Judgment. So the 6 of Swords is typically a card of moving on to other things, bigger, better things, calmer shores. That's typically the card in the Rider-Waite. And then in this one, it just seems like though they're in the water because of the seal, there's nothing stopping them. There's no waves. It's smooth, it's calm, and they're just on their way. You're just moving forward, and you're moving forward with calmness and clarity. Like the Queen of Swords, she is clarity above all. That is what she has achieved by becoming the Queen of Swords. And so it's like, as you get the clarity of what it is that you're not seeing because you're possibly looking at it through that shadow light, I feel like this is an area where you know you need help with something, but you don't see that if you just clear your mind, you have the Sun card here, and the Sun card is joy and happiness and freedom. It's everything that we want when we're going into sobriety, but sometimes we just don't know how to get there. But you've got the Judgment card too. So the Judgment card is really like a call to action. It's a call, it's what I hear right now, especially with the image being of this, let's say, merman, or maybe it's a mermaid. And when you look at the illustrations, some are rising up and some are just are stuck in their bubble. But I feel like this is a call for you. This is a call for you to recognize your light traits. So it's a call for you to recognize being nurturing and protecting yourself. So with the Queen of Swords, she has her sword. It can cut pretty deep. So with the clarity that the energy of the Queen of Swords is, to achieve that joy and that harmony with the Sun, I'm just going to show you the Sun card again because it's pretty. I think what this is trying to say is once you reach out for help, this is the way that you can go. You can go toward the light, toward the Sun. You can kind of shift your perspective over to the clarity that you're seeking. You're literally seeking clarity. So we're going to get a few more cards just to kind of explain to me the Six of Swords. I want to know what the Six of Swords, where are they moving to? So if they recognize where they're at right now with the Four of Cups, considering these are my sober souls, these are the healing souls that we are trying to reach. Show me the Six of Swords. The Star. So it's like make a wish. Make a wish on a star. What does that energy feel like for you when you think about that phrase, right? That's literally just what I'm hearing is make a wish. So what is your wish? Your wish is to not be in this energy, right? Your wish is to not be stuck in the deceptive traits. Stuck in the overly sensitive or being moody or avoidant. So emotionally, what are you avoiding is basically what I just heard. Emotionally, what are you avoiding right now? And so to go forward in the light, we want to go ahead and we want to look to the Sun, to the Sun's energy. We want to look for that clarity in our life. We want to wish upon a star so that we can manifest what we want. And I think that is good for you as a Cancer too, because you're ruled by the moon. So you're ruled by those illusions, the illusion that you think that you can't. But when you pull the strength from your light traits, which is literally focus on being nurturing, and I actually wrote down for you guys a healing mantra, which is I nurture myself with compassion and I release what no longer serves me. And I think that is fantastic. So again, that is I nurture myself with compassion and I release what no longer serves me. And so I think when you do come at it from this way, you can get help with these thoughts. You can get help with whatever this current situation is that you're in. And again, I think it resonates with it being the picture that's on the illustration right there. So I think we're going to just get we're going to do this. Temperance. It's finding that balance. It's finding the balance in your mind between the dark and the light. It's finding that balance and that clarity that's what's going to propel you towards your purpose. It's going to propel you to a better today than yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Wilder Ones Oracle, which is another Oracle deck that leans into your sign. Nope. That was the first one. It is the Mary Magdalene. And so this Oracle deck also leans into your sign. And we're going to see what she has to say for you today. Just to give us a little more guidance as we're kind of shifting out of this Four of Cups energy. But you have to put in the work. But when you put in the work, you get that mental clarity, you get that joy, you get that Sun, you get that star, you get the balance from Temperance, you get to move on to calmer shores with that Six of Swords. Okay. The cave of eggs. We exist in and with each other. So we're going to look at her message for that. The cave of eggs. Just a second. Rose, cave of eggs. We exist within each other. Some of these oracle books can be pretty complicated. Hold on one second. Here it is. All right. So what sticks out to me in this card is literally the illumination of the mind. And it is true, we do exist in and with each other. All right. What does it feel like to know that I exist in and with all creation? On the first page of the fragments that have been found of Mary's Gospel, Christ says, every nature, every model, every form, every creature exists in nature with each other. One of the prevailing themes throughout Mary's Gospel is the emphasis of union, of unity, to become a true human being, which means fully human and also fully divine. There's a secret cave at Saint Baume, the holy mountain in France, that's far more difficult to find than Mary's main cave. It's where many believe Mary meditated in order to be in union with Christ after the crucifixion. It's where she merged again and again with the love that never ends within her. When you descend into the cave of eggs, if you remember to bring a flashlight, or if you pilgrim on the crazy adventure of trying to find the cave, who graciously led you theirs, then you will see the stunning egg-shaped indentations that have formed across the wall of the cave. As I stood there, taking in the mystical powers and pure beauty, a chill raced through me. I felt certain suddenly that Mary had been there as well, as if she existed so intensely in this space in the cave, that her presence had become eternal within it. She exists so intensely and so entirely because she had become fully human and fully divine. Mary united her ego with her soul, bringing love and mercy to all 7 egoic powers within her. What made the cave of eggs so sacred to me, what made it, in fact, the holiest place on earth, is that I finally embodied a truth that had always walked with me. It's a truth that has been reflected back to me in the great spiritual traditions of the world. We exist in and with each other. When we unify the self and the soul, when we realize there is no other, that we are in fact the unconditional and unending love we've been searching for everywhere except within our own hearts, we come home to the profound interconnectedness with all creation. We exist in and with each other. Most of the time I will read parts of the guidebook, but I felt like there was a reason that I was reading all of it. And when I was doing the research on your sign, that was the theme that stuck out the most, was that Cancers typically lack going within and taking care of themselves. They take care of everyone else. They're nurturing and they're kind and they're loving and they're strong, but within they don't take care of themselves. And this is possibly part of the message of what you don't see. And here it is what you can see, how you can be, how you can nurture yourself and love yourself and be abundant to yourself. So as always, I do thank you guys so much for watching my videos. We'll dive a little deeper into your astrology next week. But for now, take care and have a great day.